animals, right? Those are two things. Those are two strong. Yeah, maybe. See how maybe people would want to do the Indian. I don't know if that does. Have you ever seen that? It might not be out there, but Lion King is. It's a kid. Oh, that's exciting. That would be a worthwhile one. That's a good show. There's a lot of
I think it would require a lot of adaptation.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that request. You might get some audience letters.
What's your favorite one? Yeah, well, you haven't done it.
Oh, your brother. That's funny. Yeah. That's funny, yeah. Well, I sent to Betsy today. I sent a little stock gift, but I haven't received any acknowledgements. I don't know if it, I mean, I sent her an email saying, hey, I sent this last week. So, I know that a lot of the stock gifts are sent anonymously. I did not
Inquire instead. I am good at neither.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Sims reception room this evening for our upper school, middle school, Handbells, and chamber music concert. We're so happy you're here to join us. My name is Mark Robinson. I'm the interim director of fine and performing arts here, and I have just a couple of short things to tell you. First off, we have unfortunately had an illness in this group, or not this group, but in the next group. Our director, Mr. Trevor Fanning, fell ill today, and he's not able to join us. So we are thankful so much to Dr. Mark Schuppner, who will be standing in to conduct that group for us. Secondly, I want to make sure that I remind you all that we are professionally photographing and videotaping this performance. So please put your phones away and enjoy some music. We will share out both the photos and the videos with all of you later on, so you can enjoy this concert over and over again. Also, since we are the fine and performing arts, I want to make sure I note, as you are leaving or as you are coming in, I do hope you took a moment to enjoy the visual art that we have hanging and displayed in our Adelman Gallery over here. It's the work of our upper school advanced ceramics and upper school advanced photography students, and it's some fantastic work. Please check it out on your way out. Now, I'm done talking. I will turn things over to the capable hands of Ms. Allison Royster for the middle school handbell choir.
us this evening. I'd like to give you a special warm welcome to our youngest members of the audience. Looks like a lot of elementary students here, so we're really happy to see you this evening to enjoy this music. I hope that you enjoy it. We have 3 more pieces for you. They're all wonderful pieces that we've worked on throughout the year. We've performed in the open house earlier in the year, and a lot of these students, actually most of them are all beginners, and have never rung in a handbell choir before this, so I'm really proud of all the hard work that they've done throughout the fall to perform for you today. We are going to go next to Join the Folks Off. unshakable hands up. God bless you.
I too welcome you to tonight's concert. I have to admit, performing tonight was about one of the most fun things I've done in a long time. I highly recommend learning handbells. Wow. It works, it's fun. So we move on now to the upper school handbell chorus, and we're excited to share with you 4 more works. We move on now to a piece by Johann Kruger, Now Thank We All Our God. they're setting up for their last piece, I just wanted to mention what you're seeing with a group of 5 handbell players is something rather remarkable. Each of them responsible for 4, sometimes 5 different notes within this combination of pitch collections and melodies and harmonies and filling in gaps and starting over and restarting. It's really amazing thing to see and to hear. So I applaud their hard work this semester, and I know they've enjoyed working with Mr. Fanning and all the wonderful repertoire they've been choosing. So congratulations on that. I do want to say the last piece, and speaking of flexibility, it's amazing to hear the original works that are written for handbells and then arrangements or adaptations of other works written for handbells. The final piece is a piece called The Great Gate of Kiev, and it was originally written long ago by a Russian composer who was inspired by the artwork, speaking of visual art, the artwork of a dear friend of his. And right before he passed away, he showed him 2 pieces of art. And those 2 pieces of art were so moving that he said, you know, I'm going to write music that's inspired by your art. Soon thereafter, the artist actually passed away, and people were grieving, and Mussorgsky decided, how better could I honor this person's life by writing 10 more pieces based on 10 more pieces of art. And this is the last movement and the last piece of art that you hear in the original work for piano, which is about an hour long, and so popular it's been arranged for piano, symphony orchestra, string quartet, and handbell. So tonight we end with The Great Gate of Kiev, and it's a beautiful piece. It's grand. It's lovely for this beautiful space, and it's wonderful to hear the bells in this space. So here we go. Ready? transition to the third part of our concert, I'd like to welcome members of our chamber orchestra. The event is titled Handbells and Chamber Music, and we find, like I mentioned earlier, there's no better space than this to play these intimate settings of music. So tonight we have chamber music by Lucia Noto and Meredith Nee, a piece by Glier, who's known for writing music of all sorts of combinations. And this piece, Berceuse, is written for piano, originally for piano, violin, and cello. And tonight we have violin and cello, Lucia Noto and Meredith Nee. of chamber music is 2 or more instruments playing together, up to groups of about 15 or 20. So defining chamber music, tonight we've got a duet, and we now have a chamber orchestra comprised of 11 upper schooler students. And we'll be playing 2 pieces tonight for you, written for a small group and for a large group, and we're taking the small group approach. But with chamber music, everyone that plays has a significant role in not only sound production, but responsibility, communication, dedication to their craft, and sharing it with those around them, and then sharing it out with the audience. So what I would like you to witness tonight is chamber music where there's communication going on, not only musically, but physically, emotionally, and through the works together they've done the first 2 trimesters of the school year. So we will start with a piece from a very large work by Gustav Holst. He wrote a large symphonic work on each of the planets. And the Jupiter movement, which comes about 35 minutes into the larger piece, has this glorious theme that if you ever listen to the whole piece by Holst, The Planets, you get to the Jupiter movement and you don't want it to end. And this piece celebrates that beautiful theme from Jupiter, from Holst's The Planets. Last on the program, we have Symphony Number 40 by Mozart, and we are playing part of the first movement and the exposition of the first movement. Mozart wrote 41 symphonies, so this is nearing the end of his symphonic output, so this is his 40th out of 41, and the 41st symphony was nicknamed the Jupiter Symphony. So the connection between these is that we have this big monster collection of work that ends Mozart's career, paired with a monster of a piece that Holst wrote, and let's connect the dots, why not? It works. The chamber music component of our music program is something that we are celebrating more and more. And as you saw tonight, we went between our duet to our larger chamber orchestra, and you'll see in the spring as we move forward to combining other collections of instruments to create more and more chamber music opportunities, maybe bells and strings, piano, voice, everything that's possible to make beautiful chamber music. So thank you for coming tonight to this celebration of music, the Handbells, and chamber music, and we will end with Symphony Number 40 by Mozart.
Thank you all so very much for coming out tonight. Before you leave, just a few brief words from me. First off, we want to publicly thank any and all of you who help and support us through donations to the Holton Fund. If you haven't given to the Holton Fund yet, or you feel inspired to give a little bit more, and you want to support our fine and performing arts students and programming, please make sure that you check the arts box when you make your donation. Secondly, we want to give a public thank you and appreciation to Ms. Susanna Jones for her 16 years of support and dedication to the arts. And then lastly, I just want to thank all of the artists in tonight's performance and production of Dr. Mark Schuppner, Miss Allison Royster, Mr. Trevor Fanning in absentia. But most importantly, all of our fantastic student performers. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And if you are interested in dance, we do have one final performance of our winter concert season. On Thursday, we have an open house for our Orchesis Dance Concert, which is a chance for our dancers to showcase what they're going to be performing at their February concert, so make sure you check that out. But thank you so much for coming tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.